Oh my. What's up, y'all? Oh, honey. Honey. Okay, hold on, y'all, because baby, Lord have mercy. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Listen, Linda. I gotta tell y'all the truth. I'm officially on the on vacation. Can y'all hear me? Hey. Hopefully y'all can hear me and see me. Whew. All right. Y'all can see me and hear me? Let's see. She has started. Yes, I've started. I have started, but I got to be honest with you. Um, I am all over the place right now. I am not going to lie to you. Energetically, I am not 100% my whole good, beautiful self for you all. And I was not going to even come live. But today was so big with so much information, so much content. I was like, if I don't, and I'm leaving the 0 dark 30 to go to Los Angeles tomorrow, which has its own set of stressors. Okay, I worked today. I don't know how I didn't realize that I closed. Usually, when we go on vacation, we make sure that we're the early person out, but no, I didn't. So I ended up being at work way too late tonight. And I still got to do everything to leave tomorrow. And I got family drama because I'm going to see my siblings, which brings up so many childhood triggers for me. But I am going to talk about this as much as I can with the information that I have. Okay. How you doing? I love each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. Please hit the thumbs up or not or and if you can do both. If you can subscribe to the channel, that would be most wonderful. Thank you so very much. All right, I have notes. And I have feelings, and I have thoughts and opinions as usual. One thing about it, Miss D ain't short on opinions, okay? Somebody was in my chat, in my comments, saying something. I'm like, baby, I have opinions. What is you talking about? You over here listening to them? Don't complain about my opinions. All right. I was going to begin with the Joe Budden podcast because that's what I saw first today. However, since then, oh, thank you, Jim Marie. Right. Oh, yeah. Now you know that's fact now. So, anywho, I got mad notes on the podcast, which was multi-layered, had so many different themes, which we're going to talk about Maul and Rory's live, though, because in that we find out a lot of things. Or we've heard some other opinions and facts as they say they are. And the truth, as Maul would say it, although he cannot say definitively it's the truth either. It is his perception of the truth, just like it is Joe's perception of the truth. That is what's interesting about the truth, right? Only numbers are true. All right, so let's talk about Rory and Maul's response and them giving us more information. You found out you was waiting on this? Okay. Whew. Let's talk with let's start. Let me relax. Let me take a moment. Give me a second. I told you my energy is crazy today. I am a flipping maniac today. But anyway, right. Okay. One, I am glad that they came out. If you saw the live I did last night in the backyard where it's named Absolutely Nothing, I said we need information. We need information. I cannot form a good opinion unless we have information. In particular, I like to listen to the words people say. Words are important. Words are important. And the one thing specifically I asked about is, What is the wording of these contracts, which still no one has said yet. And for me, honestly, that's where we are now. Energetically, the only thing that the viewing audience wants to see about you all or hear is the contract. Y'all might as well leak it. You might as well leak it, because that is the only thing that is going to tell us why each of you perceive the thing you do in the way in which you do. But let's talk about the words that have been used. My particular pushback on the events prior to hearing Rory and Mal has always been the stance that Joe is the owner of the Joe Budden podcast. And by being the owner of an entity, you are the person that receives the income, divvies out the income, okay? That is, and thusly, they are the boss. They done paid the cost to be the boss, right? Hold on one second. Okay, that was over the chat. Sorry about that, y'all. And you get the money, you divvy it up, you take on the expenses, and you pay all the expenses, and you pay the people, right? Cool beans, awesome. And I was very curious to find out, what is it that Rory and Mal feel that they are entitled to, either partnership or information pertaining to the business, that to me as a business owner is not their business. That's always been my point of contention from a business standpoint. And then of course we got the spiritual aspect, which these three dudes do not need to be together. Baby, when I tell you that thing has run its course, that thing has run its course. And at the end of the day, the real shit is, each of you played a part in imploding the shit that you no longer wanted to fucking be a part of. You're all resentful. You're all playing out your fucking trauma and your mistrust and all that shit energetically on top of each other. Great, awesome. We're watching it, but that's what's happening. This shit was coming to an end anyway. And I'm gonna give you some ways in which y'all can still make it out and everybody be whole, and how to release some shit, because when you're like this, you don't receive the way in which you should be receiving. But anyway, we're gonna make some quicker ways straight. Let's y'all follow me, right? Listen, let's get into some notes I wrote. Our podcast, these are the things I wrote down as I was listening to Rory and Mal. Rory, nigga, you just always gonna be Rory now. It's a shame. All right, and everybody typing in the damn chat what profit sharing is. I know exactly what that. I done wrote the notes. I'm doing the live for you, so you know I know already. I'm gonna cover it. Okay. Then Mal says the truth. This is just the shit that stuck out with me. Let me roll. We get a history from Rory's perspective in terms of the inception of the Joe Budden podcast, which is, Rory says that he is the one who uploaded it. He had a friend do the artwork. He's been there from episode 5 or something, or 6, when he was asked to come on and talk, because Joe didn't want to talk to himself. Okay. The next thing I wrote down that stuck out to me was where Rory gets into the lunch he had with Elliot from Tidal about a potential deal. Okay, let's talk about that. Because for me, that ties into the next thing. I'm going to jump from there to my notes, I think, to get to the bridge here. Rory brings the Elliot conversation to Joe. Joe loses his mind like a maniac, because Joe is a maniac, and cusses him out. How dare you talk business on my behalf, da-da-da-da. My first thought was, well, then that was your first indicator that to him, you all are not partners. He is the owner. He is King Almighty, King Dingaling on this mountain. That was my thought. Don't shoot me for that. That was my thought. That was your first inclination, Rory, that Joe did not see you as someone who should be negotiating on his behalf. He was already snapping on you. He was already being an asshole to you on that tip. That's what I first thought when I first heard it. Okay. All right. What the hell did I write? Okay. Yes. The next thing I wrote down was 0% based conversation. that it's at this time Rory begins to talk to Joe, and this is because there's a potential title deal. Okay, to Rory's point, it was the one that was exactly the one offer Elliot made to him at lunchtime. I don't see anything wrong with that because again, he you told Joe Budden about it. He snapped and said, whatever, basically, you don't do that. I do that. And then he went and talked to Title, and it was the same offer. I don't, again, that's the way I see it. Bada bada bing, bada boom, bada bow. When someone shows you who you are, you believe them. He wasn't telling you you weren't entitled to money. He was telling you you ain't in his business like that from his perspective. And the fact that you use your email, let me see here, to upload the first episode, your friend did the artwork, you were there from episode 5 or 6. In Joe's mind, when he snapped on you for that, that was him saying, this is my shit. This is my shit. This is him already locked on. That's the way I heard it. Don't jump on me. I'm a big bitch and I'll jump back on you. Okay, now let's talk about the buzzwords and the talking points. Listen, I love that everybody's using the word in the chat because it is the buzzword of the night, ladies. It is profit partners. Percentage, profit. Listen, they said that shit in sync so many times. I said, bitch, if you motherfuckers ain't practiced saying this shit, y'all have been media trained by your lawyers, bitch, to use this verbiage. Yes, indeed. Percentage of, bitch, that's what I wrote down. Profit partners percentage. And then I said YouTube, whatever. Okay, let's talk about that and why I said the next step has to be the revealing of the contracts. This is why. I mean, let's go back to Rory and Mal. Right at the end, Mal says again, to me, he studied to say, but when you are a profit sharing in a profit sharing partnership, and Rory's like, yep, that's exactly how you say it. I was like, oh, okay, got it. Duly noted. You said it several times. Okay. I'm trying to figure out where that wording exists. Where does the wording profit sharing percentage, where does that wording exist? And then what, hold up, here we go, maybe, percentage, I said percentage of what? This is my notes. Sharing a profit or a percentage of the profits from what? I wrote all of the podcast profit. And then they mentioned that it needed to be, that quarterly accounting is written in the contract. That I found very interesting. I said, okay, that's good. That's good. But does that paragraph right above that say that 100%? See, that's why we got to get the contract, baby, because we need to see, where does the wording exist? Does the wording actually exist in the contract, or does the idea exist in the mind of Rory and Mal, and now their lawyer has given it a catchphrase? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Okay. Still. This is me being petty. I'm such a petty bitch. But still, what are y'all bringing? Y'all should have been fired. I could be so bitchy. And I think I wrote that down. No shade to Rory and Mal, is that the way they were speaking, and again, if they really are profit partners of 100% of the podcast, and that's in writing, which means that they are entitled, listen to me now, entitled to see that accounting quarterly, which shows, listen, exactly what is the large number for the podcast has come in, and that large number, according to this contract, says that this is going to be broken down by percentage, with each person taking this percentage of this cake right here and all the subsequent cakes. Okay, that's so important. I want to know, is it real or is it not? Rory said what the profit partnership doesn't pertain to, but he didn't say what it does. You know, even as they are out here swinging their legal bats, okay? Again, I wanted to know. Rory talked a lot about establishing that he does not want any money. Even so far to say that he said, I don't want my first 2 checks from the Patreon deal. I want you to pay the guys. And Maul agreed that they've been overworked and underpaid for all that Joe, the tyrant, is putting them through. This is basically what they're saying. This is my first beer. Y'all had such a long day. I love y'all. That's why I'm doing this live energetically. I am yucked out, but I'm giving you as much as I can right now. That is so good. Michelob Ultra, give me a sponsorship, yo. That first sip after work, oh my God, it's so good. But anywho, that's important. That wording is important. Somebody needs to go ahead and spill the beans. Y'all need to go ahead and let the contracts be seen. Because even though there's such thing as verbal contracts, this here, I'm not sure. And no one is, because we haven't seen it. What did make me like go, was when Maul, to bolster his case indicting Joe's lack of being transparent with the accounting, is that he mentioned that he spoke to Royce for some hours and that there's things that went on with Slaughterhouse. Maul did a lot of mudslinging. I was like, damn, Maul. Maul had that shit ready. He was pissed. But we already knew Maul ass mad. Maul's the maddest because he really realized how low the audience values his participation in the podcast. I believe that. It's not that people don't appreciate him as a human being and what he's contributed. However, lately, in a long while, it's like, what are you actually contributing? It's not, whatever. We're not going to get into that. This ain't no Maul session. Shout out to Maul shit. Hold on, let me get to my notes because I was super busy. History of the bitch. Why was Maul going in on both of them talking about Joe Budden's hats? They don't like your damn hats, Joe Budden. Okay. Listen, I was like, he is mad about that hat. Oh, baby. Ooh, glory. This is when I knew. I said, I got too many feelings. I got too many feelings right now because my shit all over the place. And I'm feeling my aggression portion of me is very high right now. So I don't want to transfer that energy over and put it on this situation. However, when Maul shouted, I don't work for you, nigga. I helped build and created this shit. Ooh, words mean things. Bitch, I don't work for you. Okay. Is that true? Is that true? And then what does work for you mean? What is the understanding of that by both parties? Ugh. You know what I mean? Like, ugh. And then when I said Maul was really throwing shots, and listen, shout out to him, he can do what he wants. Maul, this is when I say when Maul's train of thought, sometimes it'll just get, you like, you was good, and then it jumped the track right there. But when Maul kept trying to diminish Joe's rap career and then equate his rap career with his podcast career and its popularity, I was like, You cannot make that leap, Maul. That's not a good logical leap at all, brother. No, 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 no. Now listen. No. Even then, Joe Budden's music didn't appeal to everybody all around the world and every demographic. Of course not. But this podcast thing that he's got going on does. And yes, Rory and Maul were a part of it. Listen, Maul saying he brought the cool in there and made it cool. No doubt, I'm sure. I am not a part of that demographic of young men that would be like, yeah, Maul's my nigga. We only came because Maul here to talk this shit. You know, that ain't me. You know what I mean? That's not really me. And Rory, whatever his contributions have been, which have been many over the years. I know that's right, Courtney. What Joe Budden is a creator, a manifester, a go getter. He wanted and was always going to create something outside of rap to sustain him. He was. Whether he would have figured it out to be a podcast, whether he would have went to radio, but radio died and podcasts were born. Joe Budden was going to create a media space around Joe Budden because he always has, right? History proves that that's the case. So that podcast was going to be successful. It was going to be successful. Why? Because Joe Budden is the visionary and understood, hey, we can't use her. Hey, Rory, I can't be here talking to myself. Come here. I need somebody else. Ma, what you doing? Shit, Ma to know me forever. Come. We're going to have a good ass time. You see what I'm saying? Of course, but that's a creator, right? He orchestrated all that. He brought you all in. And it's hard for, I'm not going to say non-creative people, but people who don't manifest to really understand that he does deserve all the credit for the building of the shit. Yes, you all were there. Yes, you have a history and some, what's the word I want to use? I want to use the right word. You're going to feel very much connected, right, to it because you've been there. And the language you were using in the talk, which I found fascinating, but I mean, yeah, you had to be there 2 days a week. It used to only be once a week, too, by the way, y'all. It only became 2 days a week after Spotify, but it was once a week. Not really there on time, kind of just kicking it. No, there wasn't any money. You know what I mean? But okay. But it's because of Joe Budden's ridiculousness, and he's crazy and nuts and fabulously insane, all these things that stuff was able to come, and whoever's with him decided to leverage the one offer against the other, and and then you get an influx of money. I mean, listen, we got to turn around for a minute and talk about the therapy session before I think we go on, and why the word betrayal and attack, I feel it as an attack. I feel it as an attack, and today gave me even more attack vibes. But I think it's bigger than even whoever. I don't know who is trying to either take Joe Budden down, but listen, bitch, my brain be connecting these dots too fast. I'm telling you, I should have been a lawyer. But anyway, after Maul started talking about the funny hats and how he said, I don't work for you, and I help create and build. Those are the things I wrote down because, again, did he really do that? You know, I'm not trying to minimize Maul. I'm not trying to minimize Maul at all. I love Maul. Hey, Kay, that's actually my middle name. That's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm doing. However, you have to be honest. Has Maul really been engaging? You know what I mean? So I don't know. That again, I'm not that demographic, and he would say he ain't for an old chick married with grown kids. You know what I mean? So um, so anyway, it was really good. The chemistry that they all had, y'all. We know that. I think that what I'm trying to say is where is a documented black and white writing that says Maul and Rory are entitled to a percentage of the gross profit of all monies coming into the Joe Budden podcast, right? That means Spotify money, Patreon money, Cash App money, like, because that to me is the bigger issue. And I'm not talking about if it exists in their minds and their lawyers have told them that they, because of A, B, and C, that equals D, you know? Is it hypothetical money, as someone said, or is it real good money? Um, okay. Yeah. Um, oh, my favorite line is Maul saying, I don't even know who I was talking to. This nigga has changed. This nigga has changed. This nigga has changed. Man, Maul threw a lot of shots at Joe. He said, because you get to talk to rappers, these niggas would never even talk to you. I said, wow, man. Wow, bro. All because he said the business of the podcast is none of your business, which I still don't see that it is, but I could be wrong. Maybe because, again, I'm a business owner and I understand business on some level. I'm not fucking the smartest person in the world. Joe, you've changed. Anytime someone says that to somebody or to you, it throws me off. It throws me off because, first of all, you're supposed to change. You're supposed to change. But I am very, very curious about the conversations they say that they had, because you can talk all the time, but how is it being understood? And that's what the therapist was saying. The therapist kept saying to Joe, you haven't formalized what you have here. You need to have check-ins. You need to have meetings. You need to do a temperature check. You need to see if everybody's really okay with whatever it is. Because here's my thinking. I hate when people keep saying everything's not about money. I'm the easiest person in the world. As Rory kept saying that, I was like, even if we're friends, um, if I know for certain 100% that you owe me a percentage of everything, and the first something comes along, whatever that is, and you give me money, but I don't see what the something is, I don't move on from that moment. I don't go to a next medium something, um, a half medium, a large something. I stop all of that. Uh, I have in writing, not in my mind, not some shit what I said. Oh, that's what I've been saying. It's all about money. It's been about money. So I just 100% don't believe that these young men have written contracts that state that kind of verbiage and talking about because we're friends, they done waited 2 years. I don't listen. I know who Rory and Maul is, and I know that this is my conspiracy theorist mind working, right? Yes, please be respectful. And if somebody said, this lady talking just to talk, yeah, nigga, it's a YouTube channel. I'm talking, bitch. Ain't a dummy. But here's my out of the world conspiracy theorist hat coming on. You want to hear it? Title's mad, and they in trouble with not in trouble, but they want to make nice with Spotify. So to get back at Joe Budden, see, my mind will start going down the rabbit hole. Oh, you must have just been here, Mohit. I mean, I first said I was gonna be all over the place. My energy is all over the place. I got family shit going on. I'm going to LA tomorrow. The only reason I'm live is because I knew y'all wanted to talk about this shit, and I did too. But so yes, I'm all over the place. I don't forgot where I am. I told y'all I fucking warned y'all I was gonna be nuts. Okay. So this audit thing, they keep saying they're asking for an audit, they're asking for accounting. Again, I'm going to push back on this. I've been letting it all. Y'all can't tell me that y'all been asking for something and y'all got it in writing and whatever, because we friends. I don't know. You can tell me that, but all y'all did business wrong here. On what, because it could be the verbiage is in your mind and someone has told you that's what it is, or it's actual verbiage and it says exactly that. So y'all need to go ahead and leak them contracts. Okay. Maul starts talking about it's not about the money, it's about the weird energy. And then there was my conspiracy, and then I wrote, where are the contracts? Where are the contracts? We have to either see them, or somebody's going to have to leak them or leak the contents or the information thereof. Okay? It's got to happen, because if you, and look, they use evidence to say, like, okay, Joe, I guess, said, you can leave because I can get Ish and Ice for half of one of y'all. Look, I'm okay. With him saying that, it's fucked up. I think when people see me up here kikiing up the shit Joe does and everything, they think that I would react in that manner. No, but I understand Joe, and I understand Joe's point of view. And this therapy with Dr. Alicia is her name. She was beautiful. Was great. I was like, good shit. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the therapy shit too, because I don't come back in town till next week, and I'm gonna be, some other shit would have been to happen by then. So yes, we have to see the contract. But there's a lot of resentment that these young men, all of them, have built up with each other over time. I am very curious to know what Park's understanding of things are. Hmm. What's Park's understanding of the contracts? Joe got y'all something. I don't know. I can't read it. Oh my God. We're going to talk about therapy, how Joe is a bad CEO, manager, all that. Yeah. Let's talk about the ego for a minute. Now, the ego is here to protect us. But these are the things that Maul said. He said, Maul said, oh, hold on. Oh, wait. Oh, I put hurt people, hurt people. Yep. Oh, Maul's asking, I don't know, have you been stand up? I don't know why I did that. Oh, Rory talking about him being naive. Show him the money. Oh, show money. And why can't he? Even the show money, that was interesting too. Because I went to go see him live. Maul saying that there's different people there. If there's 1,500 people or 2,000 people, I got paid the same. And I went, huh. But what does the contract say you should be paid? You know what I'm saying? And were the ticket prices exactly the same? Were the taxes in that show in that state exactly the same? Because all things would have to be equal. I can't be giving a business class right now, but y'all got to leak these contracts. You're gonna make our brains crack. Those of us who are actually thinking, which is researching and know what the hell we're talking about. So let's talk about what is a 0% of a no salary? Maul saying Joe's music career trickled down. I just listen. That was my work text. It's 10:13 p.m. I fucking switched at the last minute to work for somebody bell to bell in fucking June so I could get out of there. Oh, that would be me. I would still be there. That's how long my day has been. I am so grumpy. I love y'all. I'm gonna be done in a minute. Hold on for a moment. I'm all over the place. I told you I would be. Okay. Right. Maul kept saying, Joe, your music career doesn't trickle down into. I've seen when you was in Philly, nobody come to see you, nigga. We put that line around the thing. I was like, oh, ouch, zing. I said, do tell. Well, Maul, like I stated, one thing doesn't equate to the other. The rap audience and the podcast audience is so different. So different. Oh, honey, the demographic is out of this world. You didn't like that part? Yeah. Oh, no, listen. Maul basically was diminishing Joe Budden as much as he could. He basically called him a clown. That's what he did. He violated him in a lot of ways because he other than the soap opera shit, and he didn't say that he picked you up off the streets. And he did say y'all never broken bread. He meant real bread. I think, but well, at least it would have seemed to me. But Maul seems very, very, very offended. I'm like, who got Maul's back all up? Why is he so mad? Who got him? What? Right? And then the child, listen. It's a lot. Right. Yeah. Maul was extra spicy. Let's back up to the Rory saying, let's talk about the Patreon money that Rory says, I got this giant amount of money. And so since I got this giant amount of money, I'm like, well, shit, then how big was the pie then? What's that from? We got a big check? Again, never going to get resolved unless someone can show where the actual profit partners, equal profit partners, percentage profit partners. And I was like, what is going on there? You know what I mean? I don't think there is a definitive truth. It's got to be the contracts because it would have to state that. You can't just assume that I owe you percentages if I didn't say that I did, and if I didn't say that I would give you a percentage of everything that comes in from the pod. And they're upset about the network too. They're very upset about that. They want to know if a percentage of their money helped build the network and is also paying the salary of the other podcasts that are now on there that they're not a part of. That's a part of it as well. But here's the kicker. If they don't have it to say they are entitled to that information, then they are not. You know, oh, Rory been calling mad people. Yeah. It sounds interesting. It was a good production of them coming out. It did seem a little staged to me. Listen, the unified chorus of "We are, what are we again? Profit, percentage, partners." I was like, okay, niggas. How y'all just saying the same shit? Like, who told y'all to say that specifically? That verbiage. See, that's not how people really talk. You say I'm talking slow and all over the place or whatever. You can't tell me you what's the word I want to say? You so emotional and everything, but you acting like your shit just came out so perfect. Nah, hey, listen. Shout out to Joe Budden, and shout out to Maul. Shout out to Rory. Shout out to Park. Shout out to all the folks who rely on the Joe Budden podcast. The vultures, they are circling, that's for sure. But I believe that the choo-choo train, which is Joe Budden, is too far gone. Meaning the brand is too far gone for this derailment that seems to be trying to happen towards him. Today made me feel like this cabal that Rory and Maul are now either a part of or under the influence of is bigger than just them and their lawyer and their accountant and whatever, because that shit was pretty cool but kind of creepy. But anyway, let's see. Why did Maul try and throw salt on Ish and Ice's relationship with Joe as well? Did y'all check that? Did y'all see that? I was like, huh? Why do you need to bring them up? And again, this is where I challenge this. I am Maul with the utmost integrity, and my code is so great and more awesome. I have the street code is so better. Everybody knows me, but I was like, huh. Okay. Yeah, they talk about their issue. They talk about how they haven't talked in years. But my point is, why is Maul bringing it up? Because Maul is very upset that the podcast worked without him, in particular, and Maul. So I'm gonna read y'all. Y'all got some an exhibits due to his brother. Oh yeah, I believe that too. So let's go over the talking points again. Profit partners, percentage profit partners. To me, that sounded rehearsed. It sounded like the boys have been coached very well. I'm not saying that their grievances are not valid. Because here's the deal. If in fact there exists a contract that doesn't emphatically state that because they are due a percentage, and it's a specific percentage of the full gross amount of any profits that the Joe Budden podcast generates, blah blah, then yeah, they can go ahead and have at their legal battle. Then I will say, well, there's only a couple things you need to show, as far as I know, right? How much was the Spotify deal, the big number, to the podcast itself? Because this is tricky. I need y'all to focus. How much was given to the podcast? How much was given to Joe Budden as the person? Okay. Cash App. How much was given to the podcast? How much was given to Joe Budden, the person? Right? Patreon. How many goes to the podcast and how much goes to Joe Budden, the person? Because your percentage is of the podcast. So anyway, I know I'm a Joe Venger bitch. What you gonna do? I can't, isn't that what they have been trying to ask for though? Bob Dole, Here's my point. Please listen to my point very clearly, y'all. My sole basis of this is that the people on this side feel they have a form of ownership. And then Rory kept saying IP, which is intellectual property. That's not what you're saying, though. He can have that. You're saying you don't want a part of his intellectual property. You just want a percentage of all the money that it makes. But anyway, my larger point is Joe is the owner, and they're either independent contractors because if did he give them a K-1 for taxes? Did he give them a 1099? And if they do have that sort of wording that says that, and that they've been asking for all this time and only letting it slide because they're friends, then that's just stupid. That's just stupid on their part. That is just so dumb. They said they got an accounting initially. So if there was no PPP, they wouldn't have never seen any accounting. Listen, I don't know. Does not equate ownership. Right. Thank you, Zena. See, and again, that's the questions we need asked. Right. A percentage of profit does not equate to ownership nor decision-making ability. And also as well, let's talk about this. Rory in particular, who has been asking about what other people make in their salaries. This is the shit that is so fucking contradictory to me. On one hand, according to Joe, Rory wanted to know what other people were paid. And Rory's admitted to that prior pods. And then on this hand, Rory says, I was ready to give up my first 2 months of Patreon to pay employees. Need clarity on that. But here's the bigger point. Rory, if in fact all that you are, because let me keep going, is a percentage profit partner, PPP, and you get a percentage of the big nut. The nut comes in, boom, you get a percentage of it as pay. Great. Why do you care about what somebody else is getting paid? That's something that just throws me behind. Yeah. Sits behind it says he pays accounting firm, so shouldn't he be able to get into the needs directly from them? Listen, here's the deal. Watch Rory and Ma and still act like they don't get it. Joe omitted the percentage contract. Listen, we don't know what anybody has omitted, right? Because here's the deal. We don't have a contract yet. That's why I said the only real recourse is for the contract to be leaked at this point. And that's that. So he just wanted to seem like a boss because they have been messing with their money for 2 months. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. But the therapy session, and we're going to have to talk about that another day, because that needs to have its own day, and not when I am like, I'm not in the right frame to talk about, because the therapy session was beautiful, and there was a lot of good shit there, and a lot of I got a lot more insight into so you believe everything Joe said without evidence, but now you want to see Roy's. No, I don't. No, ma'am. I didn't say that. Malika Diva, girl, no, ma'am. I never said I believe anybody. Did I say I believe anything? Listen, don't get, because I read, and this is what I do. I just rationally look at things, filter it through my spiritual, logical mind, and come out here and give my opinion of it. And I express how I feel, whether I'm for or against. I sometimes take the opposing viewpoint. It just depends. I did not say that I believe everything Joe Budden has said, child. I said that that shit needed to break up. That energy was bad, 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 bad. And now we're really getting more details as to what it is. My other argument is that Joe Budden owns the podcast and Rory and Maul don't own it, and thereby are not do not get decision making, nor do they get to ask questions about the books and shit like that. They today have introduced saying that well we are percentage profit partners. Okay, my question is, if you are, then I think you totally waited way too fucking long to insist on understanding and seeing what the money is. And I think you could have found that out more easily in an easier way than what you went about it. But listen, they want more money, right? Like, listen, there's a lot of stuff going on here. The PPP boys, that's funny. I don't believe anything, right? I am a seeker. And I think it was really great to see how the production was. Okay, baby, I see you, Maladiva. Rory set up the SoundCloud, which means he pays for the hosting. That's great. That doesn't mean anything. That means exactly what you just said. It doesn't imply ownership. It doesn't, right? Because we need to talk like, I'm always, words mean things, and you can't conflate the issues. And you can't, and one of the things I've seen in terms of the criticism is that because Joe has a reputation, and a very well earned one, to be irrational and loud and wrong and a narcissist and an egomaniac, that too equates that he must be absolutely wrong in this instance. He must be a liar. He must be someone who is withholding their monies or whatever. I don't see things like that. I see who he is, understand why he's the way he is, which is a whole nother show we need to do, right? Why don't we allow for the healing of our men? We want them to be perfect, and if we give them tools and they start to utilize those tools to change or heal, we still want to hit them over the head of who they were then. That's not how you make a flower grow. Anyway, we ain't gonna talk about that right now. So no, I don't believe all of anything Joe Budden says. I've never done that. I've never fucking done that. When have I come on here and done that? You must not know who I am. But I can see and I can hear and I can interpret through me. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. I'm glad Rory and Maul came out and gave their side as they saw it. As they saw it. To me, I am going to be honest. I felt like it felt a little rehearsed. It felt like they perhaps had been coached. They got in there with Elliot and Title awfully good and fast, didn't they? I mean, I know the connection to the people, but I'm like, wowzer, that's impressive. Didn't even have to start a YouTube channel, that you had free licensing to do. But child, listen, I'm gonna get off my soapbox when it comes to that. With the Accounting Tell Act started calling employees, which was just after the end of the Spotify. Okay. Y'all stupid. Like they don't understand. All Rory and Maul are saying is, you're giving me 8% of profits minus expenses. They should know what the full pie is. Okay, but again, Mala Diva, this is what we don't understand about what you don't understand. No one yet has proven definitively that anybody owes anybody a percentage of anything. Because both parties have come out and told their side of the story, and each have called the truth. What we don't have are the contracts which substantiates their claim of truth. Yes, I'm okay. Now, I love y'all. I'm glad I got to talk about this at least for a little bit. I know I'm all over the place. I told you all. Look, I've even got a little bit of a rash and anxiety with having to go see my family in California tomorrow. Okay, look, it's listen. I'm most grateful that I'm going. It's exciting, but I have to do a story time for my members to tell you all the shit. Um, in terms of this portion of it, once we get either the contracts and things, then we can talk more about it. I will be very interested in the wording of things. It's all about the wording for me. How is it worded? Again, Joe can be an absolute asshole. I'm not even going to talk to the yelling and the disrespect. And we talked about that in therapy, right? The sarcasm, the hiding the hurt. We know all of that shit. We know Joe nuts. I'm more interested in Joe's point, which is what if you're wrong, when he was talking to Rory and Maul. You've created this notion of something, what if you're wrong? And then adversely, I'd like to say, well, Joe, if you do owe them a percentage and it's in writing, then sweetheart, you need to give it to them. You need to give it to them, Joe, so that you can move on to the next thing, love. Because if you do owe it to them and you're holding on to it, that's only going to restrict spirit's ability to flow, because that means you're coming from a place of lack and you don't believe that those riches and wealth you deserve, and like you're not going to get it again because you've had to suffer and you had to go without. And now that you've got the windfall, if you owe those young men the money, then give it to them, because you need to be like this, brother, in your stance with the divine. You need to be open-hearted, heart chakra lifted, and give it, invest it. You giving them their percentages, if in fact you do owe them that, or whatever the numbers, and then you owe them that, you should dance with joy and glee at giving it to them. So don't hide that money from them if you owe it. But my main point always is, and whatever will be, until I see a contract, y'all need to go ahead and leak the contract. Y'all need to tell me where it says that. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. And even if it does say that, Joe, pay him the money, but Rory and Maul, y'all doing bad business and blamed it on friendship, honey. All of y'all wanted to blow this shit up, and each of you went through your own trial, trauma, and bullshit to make sure that you had a self-fulfilling motherfucking prophecy, okay? Anyway, I gotta go. I love y'all so much. What's the word I want to say? Traveling mercies for me and my family tomorrow. I got family coming from all over. Brother coming from Atlanta, my son coming from Florida, me and my husband coming from North Carolina. So I love y'all very much. Joe Budden, you know you're going to make it. You always do. But at some point, you got to stop thriving off of the chaos and creating it in abundance, and also creating ill will towards you. That's not good. That's not good. You don't want to churn the knob of goodwill on you like that. That spigot, that energy spigot of pouring on you like that is not good, because you're going higher. You need to be lighter spiritually. You can't take that darkness with you. So that's why therapy, we got to do the therapy thing, because even the therapist could not get through to Joe on some point. She was like making points and he would deflect. And I think so because he's on air, but there's definitely some points of things he needs to work on. And I applaud that he's working on them. And I really liked Dr. Alicia. She was really good. Anyway, okay. I love y'all. Y'all be blessed. I will see you. Ooh, I come in town on Wednesday. I may go live Wednesday. I don't know. Wednesday night or whatever. It depends on what happens on the podcast. If Joe does a podcast on Wednesday, which I don't know why he wouldn't. Today's was so good. I gotta talk about that podcast. So if not then I guess Sunday or something. All right. I love y'all. Joe Budden TV is in the bit. Joe Budden TV is in who? In here? Ciao. Don't play. I love y'all. Y'all be blessed. Peace.